cheaper than our producer's underage sister, edgier than the stuff shown on late night television, newer than Kim Kardashian's ex. Live from Orlando, it's Crazy Train Radio.
All right, folks, your host here, the Croc, back here at the Get Her Done Foundation golf tournament. I actually got standing next to me one of the guests, celebrity guests here, who was playing today, who says he scored a hole in one. I don't know how true that is. I'll have to ask Larry about that later. Try this in English. Chris KirkPatrick from NSYNC. What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Seriously, though, how'd you play today?
We actually did all right. You know, the guys I was with were a lot of fun. We started out birdie and everything, and then the cart girl came around, and our golf just went, down the toilets.
Damn beer, or excuse me, soda. It was the soda she had on the cart.
Yeah.
But
soda with whiskey.
Not a bad chaser. Soda with a chaser of whiskey. But anyway, what got you involved with Larry's promotion here?
A lot of the people in my foundation's as well out of Central Florida here, and a lot of my foundation people know his foundation people, and I got invited the last 2 years, but I've always been out of town, so this is the first year I was in town, and here I am.
Okay. Well, obviously, did you get to know Larry beforehand, or was this the first time really getting to meet him?
Yeah, this is the first time really getting to meet him. I've always been a fan of him. I even like the show Cars, the movie Cars. And, he's really, really nice guy, really down to earth, and, his Central Florida roots are awesome, so it's cool to be with other, Central Floridians and do charitable work like this.
Okay. Well, obviously, most people know you from NSYNC, which was actually founded from your ties at Universal at the time, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Well, are you guys talking about maybe doing something together again? What's the story there?
Not in the near future. We're all friends, but we all have other endeavors that we're all working on. Justin's doing movies. I do production. JC's doing TV shows. Joey's doing shows. And Lance is doing production of movies. So, we all kind of have our own sights set on our own goals. And eventually, I'm sure, we'll get back together and do something, but it's not in the near future.
But the communication is there.
The communication's open, yeah. It's not like we're not talking, we're not friends.
Okay. Well, last night at the dinner, you were actually telling me about a little bit of new projects you're working on musically. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we have a lot of projects we're working on. We've got a artist that's going to be on The Voice. We have a couple bands we've been working with. I do a lot of TV show, movie production, and we've got a group called the Doppelgangers, which is just, we just put songs out on iTunes under a assumed name of kind of dance pop stuff, and just really busy in the studio all the time.
Well, now that you've kind of seen both sides of the spectrum, on stage, multi-million albums sold with NSYNC, and doing it behind the scenes now with the production and all, is there a particular side you like more?
Not really. I mean, it's all a good time. Performing's great, but I really like being behind the scenes, and I like, becoming a gearhead in the studio and just, writing music and producing bands and seeing kids that, didn't really have any money, bring them in, produce a track for them and watch them blow up. And that's to me what it's about. It's fun to watch these kids go from, sleeping in their vans to, selling multi-million records, and to watch that happen is what it's about.
Well, do you think that on the production side of things, doing what you're doing now, will make you a better performer for when you're back out on the road?
Not really a better performer, but definitely more educated on the production side of it. So when we go back in the studio, I'll be a lot more aware of, what we're doing there, rather than before. I wasn't that. It was just kind of like a whirlwind. I wasn't on the production side. I was more on the performing side. And we'd get in the studio, and I'd always ask questions like, "What's this do? What's this? What's this?" And now, over the years, I found out, and I know what everything does, and I can kind of help with that side a little more.
Well, you mentioned at the beginning here, but you said you do some charity work yourself with kids and things in the Central Florida area here. What's some of the things you work with or groups?
Well, I have the Chris KirkPatrick Foundation, which we benefit local underprivileged kids. And we work with the Howard Phillips Center, we work with Children's Home Society, we work with the Arnold Palmer Hospital. And, especially with the Howard Phillips Center, we try to get a lot of the kids that can't afford health care and things like that. We try to get them the health care. We throw a couple events, at Halloween. We have a big party down at the Howard Phillips Center where we get all the underprivileged kids in. We buy them all Halloween costumes. We have all this stuff set up. And, Christmas time we adopt a couple families, take care of them for Christmas, make sure they have food and gifts for the kids. And, that's pretty much just making sure all those underprivileged kids can lead a normal life like regular kids.
Well, if people want to get involved with your groups as well, because today's episode obviously is on celebrities and some of the charities, the legit stuff that people are in for the good reasons. Where can they get information about the groups you work with, or you yourself?
Yep. Well, my organization's at ckfoundation.org, and if you go on there, you can find out the golf tournament, all the ways you can donate money, and where all the money is going.
Chris, enjoy the rest of the day. Go downstairs, enjoy some lunch. I know you were eyeing up that corn on the cob for sure. So
that looked amazing.
Well, thanks, Chris.
Of course. Thanks a lot.
All right.